Oh, shit. I won.
No, you
Who won that?
No. All him.
Photo finish?
Oh, no.
On the track today at Belmont.
What are you doing?
I don't know. That was. It's like the beach. We don't run on the beach.
You lost, number one.
No, it was very close.
Number two, you're not a horse.
I know.
That's meant for a horse.
I know that.
Are you all
I didn't
right?
know
Your
that
ankle's
before.
all right?
Yeah,
You
the
good?
quad almost went, but it's all good. That was with Maggie Wolfendale, who's a paddock analyst for the New York Racing Association, and we're talking about the Belmont Stakes with former major leaguer and current horse racing analyst Paul Lo Duca, who joins us via the MSG 150 speed dial, presented by Fios by Verizon. Paul, thanks so much. You're joining us actually today from Citi Field. I don't know if you saw me run there, but what's amazing about that track, and you know as an analyst, is how deep it is. It really is like the sand on the beach.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that the horses' hooves go in and their legs go in about that far. I'm just glad, Billy, you didn't pull a hammy because it's like you were struggling at the end of that run.
It's so right. It was true. He did look like he was struggling,
Like I
didn't he?
say, the quad almost gave out.
I needed him down on all
Yeah.
fours. Now, Paul, I happened to be on the final stretch watching Justify finish the Triple Crown last year. Lucky enough to be right on that track. And I'll tell you, that's when you learn how deep the dirt is, because when you're that close, your clothes get dirty. It hits you in the face. Like it's pretty amazing to be that close to see the race up that close. But what I want to ask you, and I know a lot of people have asked you this before, but what got you into horse racing?
I can barely hear you guys. Sorry, that truck just went right by. But I think you're talking about Justify. Yeah. You know, the best thing I ever did the last couple of years was going to, not watching the Belmont, actually going to the winner's circle and seeing American Pharoah and Justify cross the finish line and sort of just turning around and watching the crowd. Because I knew I'd be able to watch the race so many times afterwards, and just to see people's reactions and to see people cry. It's actually been pretty cool to be part of horse racing and to be able to see two Triple Crown winners. We're not going to obviously be able to see one this Saturday, but I still think it's a very, very good field.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you hear the roar from Belmont, nothing like it, of course. But as you mentioned, no Triple Crown this year, but obviously still a big race at Belmont this weekend. What do you see?
Yeah, listen, you're going to see War of Will, who sort of, I guess, justified himself, no pun intended, by winning the Preakness, justified maybe the takedown of Maximum Security of the Kentucky Derby. Now he's got to face Tacitus, who ran a very good race in the Derby. And for Belmont, I think he's the horse to beat. They are by far the two best horses in the race. We'll see a little bit later in the draw, but Mark Cassie's very, very confident with War of Will, and I know the Belmont camp is very, very confident with Tacitus. I think it's those two horses and really everybody else.
Paul, of course, in your previous life, you were a Major League Baseball player, longtime Met. We know you keep up with your former team. What have you seen from them so far, and what do you expect to happen the rest of the way here?
Well, let's listen. I mean, they're swinging the bats a lot better than we thought, and their pitching staff really, and those arms have not lived up to what we thought. Let's just really be honest. Over these last 3-4 years, Jacob had a season to remember, and we knew there was going to be a tiny bit of regression. But let's be honest, some of the other kids need to step up. We need him to be more consistent. Steven needs to be more consistent. Zach needs to be more consistent. I need to see something from Noah tonight. Listen, you know, you look at that division, Philadelphia is really not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Bryce Harper has struck out 79 times in about 220 some odd bats. And they're only 4.5 games out of first place. So sometimes they need to start taking things serious around here in Flushing and think they actually got a chance to win a division.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it, right? They've sort of been on a treadmill to start the season, and yet there they are within reach if they just get on a little bit of a run. As a catcher, though, you have a unique view of the game because you can watch pitching and analyze pitching. What are you seeing from Syndergaard this year? Is there something that stands out to you that is different from what we've seen in the past or what we're used to from the past with him?
Well, I think that what you get with a lot of these kids now, especially with Syndergaard, where Jacob has sort of progressed and Noah hasn't. Listen, I don't care if you throw 100 miles an hour. Just start it sooner. But when everything is above 90 miles an hour and there's nothing below that threshold, it's not really that hard to hit. I mean, I understand he throws 100, 103, 104 sometimes. I get it. But what does that really do for me? When I got a kid like DeGrom that can make the curveball be like 84, 83, and there's a 17, 18 to 19 to 20 mile an hour difference. these kids haven't learned how to pitch. Maybe it's through whatever's going on. They're still throwers to me. Jacob learned how to pitch out of all these kids. The rest of these guys, you're flipping a coin, and that just cannot happen with the arms they all possess, basically. I mean, if you think about it, you have Steven Matz, Zach Wheeler, Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom. All four of those guys are capable of throwing a no-hitter. And they're how many games under 500? Right. Shouldn't be happening.
Paul, I want to take you back to the 2006 Division Series, the double tag-out situation. We got the picture up. Do you ever think about this play still?
Oh, yeah, I think about it all the time because the one question is everybody always asks me, did you see J.D. Drew coming? I had no idea he was coming. John Maine was screaming his brains out. You know, what ended up happening was when the ball hit the wall, it was hit a lot harder than we thought. Russell Martin actually hit the ball. And Sean Green made a great relay throw to Jose Valentin. And when I got the ball, if you listen to it, Joe Morgan hits a nail right on the head on the analysis. I never saw the other guy coming, but I knew that we had a shot at Jeff Kent because he got a bad read where J.D. Drew actually got a good read. He was on the tail of Jeff Kent, and the third base coach had no other decision but to send both of them because they were on each other's tail. But when I tagged JD, I just turned around, or I tagged Jeff first, and I turned around to JD just fell in my lap. It's sort of irony considering I got traded by the Dodgers in 2004 and cried my eyes out. So I'm not really sad about it, Bill.
Well, it all worked out for you. Thanks so much for a little bit of time. I'm going to take your suggestions for Saturday to heart now, so just be available next week if it doesn't work out, okay?
No worries. If I don't give you a winner, I'll buy you a beer. How about that?
All right, we'll take it. Thanks so much, Paul. For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.